Well, I don't know about you, Danny, but I haven't had dinner yet, and that looked awfully good.
I did, and it still looked good. That's where the extra
Oh,
pounds are coming on.
smokes. Well, welcome back for another Power Hour.
Right on, buddy. We made it another week.
Absolutely. What have you been busy doing?
Work stuff. I've been on the road a lot there the last couple of days, and just got back from the Sioux a couple hours ago, actually. And then obviously, I got a tournament, and we'll leave my first tournament in about 2 weeks, and got a bunch of stuff like that, the online events, and all the other chit chat that we got with the industry gossip, I guess we'll say.
Well, this is it. Yes, and there's lots going on for folks. It's something that it's probably important that if you are interested in the state of the industry, it's probably a good idea to follow along on some of the news feeds that's currently going on, because that the one that really jumped out at me that Danny and I were talking about just before we went live was West Marine declaring Chapter 11 and some of the money that's still owed. The fact that we were talking about on Monday, over $500,000 in debt.
Yeah,
that's not good. That's not good.
And that's such a big store. Like that was a store that you one-stop shopping for your boating needs, electronics, trolling motors, all that kind of part, your ropes, anchors. So yeah, it's kind of surprising when I seen that Baltic come up. I think that came up last week, maybe a little bit sooner, but yeah, it just goes to show the cost of everything. Everything now we're seeing tariffs now standard on your shipping. It doesn't say just shipping and duties now. So it's getting expensive for us. Yeah, unfortunately.
We got Pete with us. Pete Leduc, nice to have you along. And of course, Jeremy and lads, I mean no disrespect, but you're seasoned anglers and you've been around for a while. It'd be interesting because we get to chat with Big Jim all the time, and even Jay for that matter. The state of the industry. Have you ever seen it like it is currently right now? I know there's always peaks and valleys, and we go through all kinds of different recessions and economy pivots and restructures and all that. But I don't know, man. There's just something different about this go around. I might be the only one that thinks so, but at the end of the day, it feels different, and it feels like there's a sense of urgency. I don't know, Dan, if you reciprocate or.
I don't know about the sense of urgency, like from our end, from what I'm seeing, but it is very unique. I mean, I think that's why there's no sense of urgency in some places. Like you can't foresee what might be coming because we've really never seen this before. But you're right, it is unique when you talk to shops in the area and say how's things. Like we were really busy last week, but this weekend we're not, and then we're really busy again midweek. And it just kind of seems to be different. It's the best word I can come up with, and we're seeing now with our tournament anglers, our conversations have kind of shifted in what we're concerned about, and the math we're starting to do now, which we're all terrible at. So,
Tony, how you doing tonight, buddy? Nice to have you along. Even with the cost of gas, my local lakes cost me about $50-$60 a day now. This year's over. See, and this is the thing. I mean, you gotta compensate that somewhere, and something's gonna go without, or you're just gonna reshuffle the money so that you can still go out on the water, still enjoy your time. But as Danny and I have said, and it's great to see sort of on the other side of the border that the tournament trails and tournaments as a whole are still doing okay, still getting good numbers. Jason Doyen, who was a part of that tournament last week, it's nice to see the number of boats that were involved in that. But over here, it's a bit of a struggle.
It is a struggle. There was a time where I can remember waiting lists on all kinds of tournaments where 100 boat field was not a problem, and they had a waiting list, and that's going 2 or 3 years ago. So all of a sudden now we're 30 boats is now a healthy target to be trying to design everything around. And it's funny because even at 30 boats, we're finding ways to make it worthy to do it. But yeah, it's different. I don't know. I can't answer that. Like the championship is happening right now for the boutique coming up this weekend. So NXS, we have a big showing there. I think we have 5 teams in total there with 8 anglers or 10 anglers. I think it's 8 actually. So 4 teams. So Jason Doyen included, Nick Huxon, Frankie, and Rob, and Joel, and all those guys. So we wish them the best of luck. But the money and what you're dealing with and your cost wise, it's starting to get scary. It really is.
Yeah, it is. 100% it is. We have Emma with us. How you doing, Emma? Nice to have you along. Don't tell the parents. It's just started. No, I'm just kidding. Hope everything is well. I hope you're getting ready. I believe you're going overseas soon to knock heads in rugby. She's quite a rugby guru. Looking
That's
forward
fantastic.
to yeah, isn't it? Absolutely. Looking forward to that. Eric's in the house. Nice to have you along. We got some ladies here. Love it. Love the lady content. How you doing, Marilisa? Always a pleasure. Oh, that's interesting, Jared. Even in the kayak tournament, really?
Huh.
See, and this, I'm glad you brought this up because I was just about to say this would have been the only tournament community that I would see still prospering, but even the kayaks, eh?
Yeah. I guess, like our biggest hurdles for us has been lodging and fuel. Like that, I guess you still got to get yourself there, and you got to take your accommodations up. But yeah, it's surprising, and thankfully, I know in our area the lodges are doing still very well. They still have their regulars coming, so that's helpful. But I know for us, we've really dictated what events we're going to do because we also want to travel in the wintertime. So we can't, and we don't know what that's going to be like now with the fuel costs and everything going up with that. So yeah, it's interesting.
Wow.
That is very interesting.
I think that's what makes this interesting. And, I can't think of a better person right now that's online. Shane Richard has always been there when it comes to the CFN fish off. He's usually always there when it comes to grassroots type tournaments. And as he mentions, he's got his Go Large Fish Ruler with the CFN logo. Appreciate that.
Ruler too, eh? They did a great job on that.
Yeah, I have to admit, it's actually very affordable, which is the other part that I truly appreciate as well. Of course, like every company. Well, Scottie, what do you want the cut to be CFN? And I'm like, pass all the savings on to the community. We're good. CFN's good, but we love seeing our logo and our swag being tossed around. But Shane, like now that we've heard about boat tournaments that are on a decline, Jeremy shared that the kayak tournaments are down in terms of numbers too. Do we see an influx, Danny, Shane, in online tournaments now that these numbers are starting to drop?
Well, I'm betting on it. I think that there will be. It's a bit more economical for us to put something together, but at the downside, it affects pricing. Everything's got trickle down effect, but we've actually been doing quite well with these events. With the cash pits we put out and our sponsor prizes, I was pretty surprised that with Moxie that put out. I delivered Ryan Egan's first place prize to him yesterday, so he made out like a bandit on that. And I know we got Fishy Bang one up for our next one this weekend coming up, and so it's pretty impressive. And then you look at CFN, what Shimano's doing with that, and that's a free event. So we're still working pretty hard with sponsors and everybody to get our prizes. And I think anglers are going to flock that way, tournament people, because we still want to be competitive. Maybe we're missing something there to make it a home run. I'm not sure because we're just experimenting. It's our first go around, literally like a month ago. So we're going to see what happens.
So again, obviously tournament talk is what we're talking about tonight, and there's a lot basically on the brink of happening as we speak. Coming up this weekend, of course, as Danny mentioned, is the NOWT Championship up in Timmins. We also have the second qualifier for our NCOO weekend series for the championship, as well as the Compre Conquer All Challenge, sponsored by Shimano. So there's a lot to discuss, a lot to go over, and hang on, folks. We got a lot to get through. I think I'm having shore derbies are more accessible than boats or kayaks due to price. And as Danny and I have said, and what we mentioned, we're kind of banking on it. Obviously, Shimano feels the same way. It's interesting. I'm starting to see, especially on Anglers Atlas, a lot more tournaments pop up as events, and I always say, imitation is a great form of flattery, and they're all mirroring the CFN fish off, which is really cool because at the end of the day, if there's anything that's going to be our legacy, and maybe that's just it, we've brought online tournaments to the forefront, and we've made them cool with the help of Shimano and various other vendors. So yeah, very, very cool.
And Shane's absolutely right too. Like with these tournaments, it's not just restricted to boats; it's whatever you want to do, and we can open up so many different water bodies and everything else. So, you're right. That's one of the reasons that we like them. It's just that it takes off a lot of limitations for anglers.
100%. There's Ruth Bacon. How you doing, Ruth? Nice to have you along, Erica. It's actually cool that you say that because actually we're going to share the video where you go into great detail about how much you love that. But first, before we get to that, of course, one of the cool things we're going to be doing at the end of the show tonight is our early bird prize. And of course, this was donated by the wonderful people over at Interline. Great folks over there. We have one, not two, but three of these gift packs to give away. And I want to thank Interline for supplying these to us. We're going to be making some NCAA participants very, very happy with this prize pack that will, well, as I said, the whole purpose behind it is we know the sacrifice that you're making, leaving the house. You know, there's probably a honey-do list about this long. We want to help you get it done, whether it's before or after or for next year. We want to help you lads and lasses out. So this is a great prize pack, including an impact drill, a regular socket drill. You've got a Sawzall, you've got a light, and of course the charger to go along with it with the bag. Three of them are up for grabs. We are going to be giving out one of them tonight, Danny.
Absolutely. Yeah. For our first group of qualifiers, I guess they met the first deadline. So I'm pretty excited for that.
So we'll get to that. But before we do, of course, as I mentioned, this weekend is the second qualifier for the NCAA Weekend Series. The first one went really, really well, Dan, and based on the leaders that made it to the championship, some decent fish were caught. But maybe just do a quick overview of how this all works and where folks can go to sign up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Head over to Fish Donkey, grab their app, and they have an enormous amount of tournaments similar to Anglers Atlas. And, we support all of the platforms and stuff like that, and get on there and sign up for it. And you can pick your tournaments that you want. So click on to the NCAA Weekend Series qualifier number 2, and you can see those tournaments there, and you can actually past tournaments, see how the results went and everything else. Great tutorial, great videos on there and teaching you how to register fish and put everything in, no different than Anglers Atlas. But the format for this year, so your top 5 anglers from every qualifier will advance to the championship, and only 20 anglers that have qualified will be fishing the championship. That championship, we are giving away the cash prizes that we'll be normally giving away, but plus a Honda generator brought to you by Garnet Rentals here in Espanola. So it's a great prize pack, and we'll be able to get that shipped off to anybody in Ontario. We're not worried about that part. And even if you've qualified for an event, you can fish all of the events if you want, just to be on the competitive side. But because you've already qualified, you can't qualify a second time. So you will not be stealing a spot from anybody else. So you can win all the events. We're just going to go down to 2 to 6. We're going to make sure we have 5 new anglers from every event. So don't be shy. Sign up and get in there and give it a go. And as you can see, like from my results, I only got a few hours of fishing in, and they were all like 21s, 22s. So they were pretty average fish for up here. And I managed to get in there. And the app will automatically cull for you, so you can put as many entries as you want. It's just going to take the 3 biggest.
Oh, it does that. It automatically calls. Oh, that's really cool. Well, you know what? That just makes it that much easier for the participants as well as the organizers. And did you get me signed on as a director so that I can look over some of the fish?
I completely forgot about that, but I'll be on that right away. We'll get that. We'll get Bonnie on that. But yeah, I've been on the road.
I know the judges are ready to go for our event, but of course, any way I can help out, Dan, so that you can spend a little bit more time on the water and a little bit less time behind the keyboard, I'm happy to help out. But again, all you have to do is go over to Fish Donkey. We will talk about it near the end of the show just to remind folks. But very cool event, cash prizes involved, and to enter, Dan, what is it again to enter?
Fish Donkey. It's called Fish Donkey app.
No, but how much is it?
It's $60 to enter the event, and so it's not breaking the bank. That's actually seems to be pretty steady. We did that, some of the research we did, so that seems to be the going rate we've been seeing. But at the end of the day, I would say well over 90% of that value is going back to the anglers. So the payout is very well in that there. And like I said, this is our experiment as we move forward. So if people don't join or don't give us feedback, we won't make changes. We're going to keep plugging away. So yeah, hopefully people sign up, try it out, and then they can say, hey, we like this, we didn't like this, we did like that, and that'll help us out. Whether it's for all of the events we do, everything we do, it's
100%. I think the coolest thing too, and I didn't realize Fish Donkey did this, but these aren't lengths; these are weights of your 3 longest fish. And the idea of it, of course, is there's already a predetermined equation. So based on the length of fish that you catch, Fish Donkey will approximate the weight of it, and then trigger a 3-stringer walleye. Your best 3 walleye, and they'll make a stringer out of it, and that's the combined weight total. That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. We have the options to go by total length or by weight, but what ends up happening with total length, there's more possibilities of a tie. Whereas when you convert it to weight, there's less opportunity for that to happen. But there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If it's a 20-inch walleye, it's going to have the exact same weight. And there is a formula for that. I can't remember which one they use, but I think they use the one from In Fisherman that is put out. Information that had it for years. And this is designed by biologists. So they say, and it's an average weight. We understand that, yes, post-spawn, pre-spawn, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, this is just us doing it to ease the tie-breaking scenario. And that only happens when you get a lot more people. But it's kind of fun that way. And I like the way it works out. And we've been able to translate this. We do have a multi-species event that has been activated, turned on. And that one's a little bit more. That's $100 to get in because we have 3 categories that we're supplying. But it's walleye, bass, and northern pike. And that's going to run for a month long. People can enter during the event. But it's the same format, same idea. We're going to convert to weight because it also looks kind of more impressive when you see 26.8 pounds over a weekend for 3 fish when you start seeing those kind of measurements. But yeah, it's a neat tool, and I like it.
Now I'm blown away, Danny, by this question here. I'm actually on the edge of my seat. Tony is asking the $60 fee. How is it paid? Now, what is so incredible about this is I'm hoping he's asking because Tony's actually going to participate, because that's the one thing that I have pulled and begged to get him involved in some of the events that CFN does. But the fact that he is asking this question, this is a big deal. This is a real big deal. So just so anybody knows, any the money that is gathered for the NCAA, there are parts of it that will be proceeds that go back to the NCAA. So, of course, for food for our volunteers, for our participants, various things that we do at the event. So some of the proceeds will go back into the NCAA. So an investment in the weekend series is an investment in the NCAA.
Yeah. So yeah, it's $60 to register that, and like I said, over 90% goes right back to the anglers and their prizes. Small portion. That's the point of doing this. That's why it's called the NCAA Weekend Series. Is that we are trying to generate some finance to help us with the NCAA event in September, because it costs us quite a bit of money to run that. Yeah. But so when you sign up for Fish Donkey and you say accept, you want to sign up for the tournament, they take all your payments through there. So everything's done through the app. They take care of everything, which is the reason why we wanted to go these routes. It's no different than Anglers Atlas. They take all your payments if you have to pay for an event on the site. And but when all the winners will be dealt directly by me. So the NCAA will directly send you an e-transfer to all the winners, and we don't hesitate. And then we deal with Fish Donkey on the backside so that everything works out smoothly. And the last event went very well. We had no issues there at all, so we were very happy with that.
Beautiful. Tony, you got me riveted. If it's going to happen, I'm absolutely thrilled. Now, before we move on to the Compre Conquer All Challenge, I think I wanted to introduce two new. Well, one is a new sponsor, but 2 more sponsors of the NCAA event. The first one, of course, is someone new. Actually, they're both new, really. But Outboard Tuning. I think this is an incredible opportunity for not only folks participating in the NCAA, but anybody who has an outboard that wants a qualified mechanic to go over and do exactly what you want to make your engine even better than it already is.
Yes. These are performance tunes. Loki's located in Barrie. This is something that he can do remotely and send things to you. They have a very good website, so you can go in and you can put your specific information down for your engine and everything else. Send it off to them. They'll respond back to you. This is what it will cost. This is what we can perform your engine. These are performance tunes, so these are tunes where you want to upgrade your engines, and they do Mercury's, Hondas, and Suzuki's. So yeah, he's our brand new sponsor. He actually fished the event last year, so that was nice to have an angler who's fished the event to turn around and come and contact us and say, hey, I'd like to sponsor the event as well. And so we're very fortunate to have Dennis on board with that. And absolutely,
it's hard, and it's hard these days to get a good mechanic. I mean, I might be the only one that says that, but it's tough to find someone, one, you trust, and two, that you know is going to do a good job. You know, at the end of the day, things are getting expensive, and as we talked about at the outset of the show, but I don't mind paying a little bit extra if I have to, if I know what work is being done is going to be done correctly, and that my machine's going to run perfect after it's done.
Yeah, and I think they specialize more on the performance side of things, so they're more in increasing your horsepower and getting things like that. So if you've ever, and all you bass guys and all of us walleye guys, we're all in that same boat. There, we want our boats to just fly. So, I mean, here we are complaining about the fuel mileage, but we want to go faster. So it's just the inevitable. That's the problem.
It's funny. I had to go in. I'll just digress for a second. I had to go in, use the company gas card to fill up the company truck. She asked, you know, how much you want to put on. I said, I don't know, $100 is good enough. I went back out, pumped $100, which went in like that. And then I got it in the truck, turned it on, and I'm just under 3/4 of a tank. Now, $100 was, you know, it would, even if it was on empty, that would fill the tank typically. And this was on pretty much empty, and it didn't even get to 3/4. So that's a big difference, man. That's a huge difference. And for folks who understand marine engines, whether they are designed to be, they're not the most economical performance out there. So,
but one thing that, you know, like the Dennis will preach to that, and I do agree with that, because I have lived by that model. Like the higher horsepower engines, I've had many boats that have had very good horsepower on them. You tend to, when you're cruising, you back off. You actually save fuel on your cruising speeds. So if you want to do it at 30 miles an hour, instead of sitting at 4,000 RPM, all of a sudden these engines now they're tuned, you're getting down to that 3,500 RPM. So you do tend to get a bit more fuel mileage out of them. But when tournament day comes around, you've gained 5 miles an hour on everybody as well. So,
but if you're putting a 300 on the back of your boat, you're not wanting to do 30 miles an hour. So
our old cabin cruiser used to have a 454 big block in there. It was 330 horsepower. So that was a 26-foot cabin cruiser that would do 50 miles an hour. And of course, I would want to do that. So,
and was it straight through exhaust too?
No, it wasn't. No,
okay.
I didn't have that. My ears are bad enough as it is. I didn't need any more.
Because that would have been a kick-ass sound. And the next one that I want to introduce, obviously, is near and dear to your heart. Kaylee was an integral part of our volunteer staff last year, helped out in a huge way. And not only is she coming back, but she's coming back as a vendor, and that must make a very proud papa right there.
Well, absolutely. Of course, this is my daughter, my oldest, so she's helped us out so much, and she grooms our pets, she does everything else, and she was a very integral part during the entire event. And Kaylee's kind of got my demeanor when it comes to, we kind of take over things. We got big personalities, so we kind of get involved heavily, and nobody's yelled at us yet, so it must be still a good thing. But yeah, Kaylee, we love having her back. We're so thankful to have her back and helping and doing stuff like that. Both my kids, for example, absolutely, Matthew's done a whole bunch of us for as well. But so yeah, if you live in the Ottawa area, anywhere in that place, she's actually moved out to Russell area now, but she has a pretty good area. She's willing, I think, to go. I want to say she'll go to the Arm Prior area and all that kind of stuff, but she does in-home dog grooming, and she's got a very good client base, and she's doing quite well. And they've got her, she's got her webpage up, so you can just look her up and chat with her that way.
That one's already posted on the NCAA Facebook page. So if you want any information, including the website and any more information, by all means, please go over to the post. It's all there for you to read. But if you are in the Ottawa area, Arm Prior area, as Danny said, please give her a call, because if you're helping her, you're helping us, and that's kind of cool how all that works. But Kaylee, looking forward to having you back, and of course, we really appreciate your gracious ways as a vendor and sponsor. So looking forward to an NCAA event that hopefully will mirror exactly what happened last year, if not kick it up a notch.
And we're doing well, actually. We're on pace for that. So I'm not going to lie. I'm very pleased with what we've seen, and we came in, I think, more sensible. We kind of last year, and this is our second year, and we caught wind. Working in the industry, we've seen some things. So we said, you know what? If we can mirror what we did last year, that's a win for us. And so we've designed everything to do that. So we're going to be able to put on a good show. We know that.
You know, it's something that I saw at the NOWT, and it's something that we do with our meet and greets. Anybody that's on here from CFN will appreciate this and attest to the importance of food. And that was an aspect of our tournament that I really pushed in. I know sometimes things become difficult to pay for, and you can't have everything. But I will say, for all those who participated last year, those breakfast sandwiches went a long way. And it's actually kind of an inside joke with Jason Barnews and myself every once in a while, especially Corey Johnson received a breakfast sandwich, you know, when he was on the last Elite Series and almost won. Chris ended up winning, but Corey was right there in the mix. And there's a great video where Corey fishes a dock, and the gentleman that owns the property comes out and actually hands him some breakfast sandwiches, and just an inside joke.
Yeah,
you can make friends, and as you know, we see all the stuff in the news about Canada, U.S., blah blah blah. At the end of the day, a breakfast sandwich can settle everything, and I'm a firm believer in that.
And honestly, it's food that got me involved in tournaments. Because when the first events we were fished, it was kind of the same thing. Like, well, it costs this much, and blah blah blah, this and that. Excuse me. And then the people that we were hanging out, they talked us into doing. They said, yeah, but by the time you know, we get a steak dinner, we do this, we do that. You actually walk out, even if not getting ahead, even if you finish dead last. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So, well, let's try it out for a weekend. And we immediately fell in love with it. And then obviously that conversation led to a lot more expensive hobbies for me going further. But so then we kind of that was Sagamok. That was a local tournament we used to have here. So that was gone. So when I wanted to bring Spanish back, I said, you know what? I like what they did. It was good for everybody that got in. So we wanted to kind of mirror that and bring back. So, you know, thanks to JR's Pizza, we have food for the rules meeting. Bolton Foods is doing our first night meeting. And we actually may have Bolton's helps us with the second night as well. So we're excited that we do the breakfast sausages in the morning. So this is all at no cost to the anglers. So if you've signed up, this is what you're getting. So if anybody's had a steak dinner nowadays, it's probably $500 for 200 people anyways, right there. So
well, this is just it. And I, you know, my eyes were open when I first went to Matagami, and I saw the steak dinner that they put on, where everybody grabs their steak, they go out, they cook it on the big skillet. That was just incredible. It really blew my mind, and it made me think, like, you know, this is why we do our meet and greets the way we do, to make sure that we're feeding our community. But to be able to do that on that kind of level, tip of the hat to Matagami, because that's not easy to do. So
yeah, we did that in Matagami, and we said that we love the idea. We're going to do it here, and of course,
absolutely,
the best place to get 30, 40 anglers bullshitting to each other, and it's just nothing but lies, and it's fantastic. So.
Yeah, the only thing that covers it is the steak sauce. So with that, as I said, at the end of the show, we're going to, of course, be giving away this prize pack. It's the early bird giveaway for the NCAA tournament that's happening in September 18th and 19th, to be specific. And what we're going to talk about now, and Erica, you're going to help us out in a second, but this is the Compre Conquer All Challenge. So not only is the NCAA weekend series happening this weekend and starting on the 29th, but on the 30th, at basically the stroke of midnight, so 12:01 on Saturday, the Compre Conquer All Challenge begins. And of course, its theme is small fish and big prizes. And with that, of course, we are going to be giving away 5 Compre. They're newer rods. They've retooled the Walleye edition. The whole idea was to promote the LTE that just came out. But it's the Walleye rods that we're going to be giving away as prizes, which is actually a step up from the LTE. And we want to thank the good folks at Shimano, because, of course, they're downstairs and they're ready to be shipped as we speak. But we're going to be giving 5 away right at the end of the tournament. And how we're going to do that is based on a ballot system. And that ballot system is basically going to be based on the number of species that you're able to catch in one day, because you're only able to catch one species per day. And to help us out, or at least help understand that, let's go right to the Anglers Atlas website so that I can go through some of the species and show folks how you enter. Of course, you go to Anglers Atlas, just as it says up there on the address bar, anglersatlas.com. You go to events, very simple, click on events, and then all of a sudden you start scrolling down here and you start to see some things that are very familiar that we've seen before. And then right there, dab in the middle, is the 2026 Shimano Compre Conquer All Challenge. Click on it, and these are the species here.
I don't think you're sharing the screen there, Scotty.
Oh, I'm not?
No.
Oh, you know why? Because this is still up. All right,
Yeah.
let's try this again. No, you know what? Thank you for letting me know. Okay, there it is.
Going there.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back just so everybody can see this. All right, so you go to anglersatlas.com, www.anglersatlas.com. Go over to the events, click on events, and as you can see, there's a whole bunch of icons here that are very familiar, but the one you're looking for is the 2026 Shimano Compre Conquer All Challenge. Click on it, takes you right to the event page. These are the species that we are hoping that our CFNers are going to catch. These are the ones that you're eligible for the Compre Conquer All Challenge. The ones that do not have pictures in them, most of them are all saltwater fish. So, of course, the silver surf perch, the red-tail surf perch, the cunner, which is also sea perch, those species there, and then the shiner, the pile perch is the other one. These are saltwater species. So what we made sure, the judges helped out in a huge, huge way. We wanted to make sure that there was at least 4 species for everyone across the country to be able to submit ballots on. So some cases, some provinces have more than others, but for the folks that live on coast to coast, of course, you're going to have at least 4 chances, because those 4 and 5 species that are caught in brackish and salt water will be able to allow you to cast a ballot. And then, of course, folks that live in the freshwater side of things, you've got all your crappie, you've got all your perch, and as I said, you even got rock bass. I know a lot of folks like the rock bass and all the sunfish species, including pumpkin seed, bluegill, green sunfish, and then the red breast sunfish. So lots of fish to catch, lots of varieties. You have the ability to catch all 12 species in a day if they're available to you. And of course, we're not going to, in these times, suggest people should travel. But if folks are courageous enough, and let's say they win a Lotto Max, by all means, travel all you wish, all you desire. And if you can cast a ballot for each of those species, we might even put a special prize together for that. But those are the species. And all you have to do is go up here to register for the event, click on that, and that takes you to where you need to fill in all the appropriate information, which will be your email, your name, and of course your address, so that if you are a winner, we're able to send your prizes ASAP. As you can see, the event begins in 2 days, 3 hours, and 24 minutes. So we always have a countdown clock on all of our events, looking forward to even more people involving themselves, because as I believe as it is right now, we are between 50 and 100. I'm not really sure exactly where, but 50 and 100. I haven't had a chance to talk to Mike because he's been extremely busy, but hopefully very, very soon. And as I said, at the end of the event, we're going to be giving 5 of these rods away. They are the Walleye edition. We also have the video draw. So if you catch a species of fish of the 14 that we've just posted with the Shimano Compre, if you own a Shimano Compre, and there's been several of you that have shared pictures with me, so I know you have them. If you catch one of those species with it, you're going to be entered into the video draw, where not only are you going to win a Compre rod, but there's also a Miraval reel to go along with it. And then, of course, there's the hero shot, which is very similar to what we see with the CFN fish off. If you catch something with anything that says Shimano on it, it could be a hat, a towel, a knife, anything. As long as you show it in the video, that'll be your entry into the hero shot, where we're going to be giving away a Compre rod as well as a Vanford reel. Now, you want to know how good the Compres are? Don't listen to me. Let's head over and listen to Eric. Erica, there you go.
Hello. So my husband purchased me this Compre rod at the beginning of the season. It's medium light and fast action, and it is an amazing fishing rod. One of my favorites that I've ever owned so far. I've caught lots of bass, catch and release, and multiple walleye so far, and it feels fantastic. Like I can't tell you how much I love this fishing rod. And I also caught a nice lake trout that was 6.25 pounds. Felt so incredible on this fishing rod. And I just wanted to say, if you wanted to win one of these rods, I highly recommend you join the
Compre Conquer All Challenge.
And that's just it. It's a team effort over here, so don't take my word for it. Take Erica's word for it.
I've been seeing the fish that her and Mark have been catching this past week. So, and there's no reason why she shouldn't also go to Fish Donkey and put that rod to use this weekend.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
But,
absolutely.
They've been doing great this week. I've been seeing those pictures there, Mark.
Absolutely. It is on fire on the St. Lawrence, and we won't say where, but they have enough people chasing them around all their honey holes. But yeah, so lots going on. Of course, the NCAA, as we mentioned, and then the Compre Conquer All Challenge. These two events can work in tandem. And the cool part about it, to bring it all together, are these wonderful folks over at Go Large Fish Ruler. Randy had told me that he has 10 36-inch CFN bump boards already ready to go. I believe Mark Wolf has purchased one. Tony, I got to send your money over when Randy gets back. There's a bunch of you that Shane Richard had mentioned. So there's 3, but I think there's 10 left of the 36 only. They're selling them for $60. And here's the best part. Usually you have to pay a custom fee. So with the CFN logo, there would be an additional fee to that. There's no additional fee. The other thing they're going to do just for CFNers, there's no tax. So it's $60 and that's it. And to me, for what you get, Shane, Mark, and Tony, you can attest when you get them and see them. These aren't cheap. These are high-end bump boards.
If anybody was at the Sportsman Show, if you would have stopped in their booth like I did and checked them out, they did a great job. And then they also have their very unique boards that they have their fish cutouts and stuff like that. So they do phenomenal work, and they're well worth the price. That's a great price for a metal board.
True enough. And of course, it makes it that much easier for directors like us, when it comes to making sure that we certify and calibrate these boards correctly. NXS makes a great bump board. There's that one, Handlebars, Musky Lures. He also, Mike, makes a great bump board as well. Those 3 bump boards, if you have them in your possession and you are participating in an NCAA event or a CFN event, they're already calibrated. You'll have to show the judges just to verify that that's your measuring stick. But you won't have to calibrate it. You're not going to have to measure it. You're not going to do anything specific because we already know those are top shelf boards and they are as accurate and true as they can possibly be.
And it's not that hard to do. That's one of the questions that we do get asked a lot on our apps is on these fishing tournaments, these online ones, is this board good? This board good? Absolutely. Keep sending those questions. We have no problems answering those because if you're not sure, we don't want you to hesitate. But it's gone a long way from the tape ruler on the side of a boat. Pretty well everybody now has a good ruler. Everybody has something, so it's the kind of reassuring. But I love the fact you showed the Anglers Atlas homepage, their webpage, because they have a great page that really shows down that. And it kind of reminded me that Fish Donkey, you can also register that way as well through Google.
We'll have to do that next week, maybe, Dan.
I do admit though, Anglers Atlas has a beautiful page. I do like that.
It just makes it so much easier for the participants and anybody that's looking to sign in and register. It's a couple clicks, submit some personal information, which isn't a lot, and you're ready to go. You have to download, of course, the MyCatch app if you're going to be using your phone to take the videos and what have you. But it's
the first time. After you've done that, it's super easy. After that, you got access to so much after that. It's unbelievable.
100%. So quickly, just to go over again, of course, this weekend on May 29th, it's starting the NCAA Weekend Series. This is the second qualifier.
Yes.
And it is open to anyone living in the province of Ontario, Dan?
Anywhere. You can only fish in the province of Ontario. Last one we did have a guy from Minnesota sign up, so I think he wandered into the Rainy Lake regions. But yeah, we don't care where you're from. You got to stay in Ontario. That's all.
$60 to enter. Of course, you go over to fishdonkey.com to register, and you can win some cash and some prizes. And this week is sponsored by the good folks over at Fishy Bang Bang. Tell us a little bit about that store.
Fishy Bang Bang. It's a nice little taco shop. It's a real mom and pop feel to it, and they got a lot of great selection in there now. Located in the town of Espanola. So if anybody traveling towards Manitoulin, you have to go through Espanola, pull in, and they got everything you need for your bass fishing, salmon fishing, walleye, everything. New owners have taken over a year ago. Rob is a fantastic guy. He's got a great crew in there, so definitely worth the stop. And it's located behind the GMC dealership, so you find the GM dealer, go behind it, and the beer store happens to be right there too. So if you're going through to the island, you might as well stop, get some beer and some tackle.
Right on. Thanks again to Fishy Bang Bang for not only sponsoring this weekend series, but of course the NCAA tournament as a whole. It's nice to have new vendors on board because it just makes it that much easier to hand out great things to not only our winners, but our volunteers and anybody else for that matter. So very nice and appreciative. Also, the Compre Conquer All Challenge started at the stroke of midnight on Saturday, May 30th to July 1st, I believe. July 1st, yes, to Canada Day. So it's small fish, big prizes. By all means, go over to www.anglersatlas.com to register. Very simple, as Danny mentioned. And, of course, we can't thank the folks over at Shimano enough for making this all happen. So with that all being said, Dan, I think we have one order of business left.
Absolutely.
But before we get to that, anything else you wanted to mention or add?
No, I talk too much as it is. We'll just got to move on to this here.
You got to stop listening to Mary Lisa. You don't.
Yeah.
You really don't.
No.
So again, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you there.
All right, so here we are. This is what we're giving away. We have 3 of these to give away. We're giving away the first one tonight. This is the early bird draw for those who have pre-registered for the NCAA North Channel Walleye Open event that's happening September 18th and 19th. We'd love to see you there to cheer on the volunteers, to cheer on the participants, and cheer on Danny because he needs to talk more. So by all means, we'd love to see you out there. And of course, if you are pre-registered, you are going to be lucky to get a chance at 3 of these draws. So
Yes.
with that being said, let me share the screen and show who these lucky folks are that pre-registered and are a part of tonight's draw. Let me see if did I share it? No, still haven't shared it.
Yeah. A couple more buttons.
There we go. I need a producer. That's what I need. All right. So here we go. These are your 9 so far that have pre-registered. Nick Huxon is team 1, and his co-angler has not been announced. Team 2 is Chris Porteous and Tim Martell. Team 3 is Rob Laframboise as well as Frank Clark. Team 4 is yes, absolutely, last year's winners. Team 4 is Ken and Brandon Southens. Is how you say that?
I think it's Southens, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
Southern. So team 4 and team 5 is Tyler Gagan and Sean Leonard. Team 6 is Ryan Egan and Steve Johnson. I love Steve. He's such a gem. Yeah. And then look at this. Team 7, Danny Bacon and Mary-Lisa Bacon. Wow. Right on. And our 8th team, of course, is Steve Gravel. And to be announced, will it be Kevin Robineau, do you think, Danny?
I'm not sure. I haven't had much time to talk to Steve. We talked about it there, but I more than likely I would imagine it would be. They're pretty tough duo. They're hard to beat.
They are. They certainly are. Okay, so how we're going to do this is the first one that is chosen. Well, actually, what we'll do is we'll spin it because we have so few teams. We'll spin it so that there's 2 teams left. The last team picked will be our winner, and our runner-up will be the second team. Does that make sense, Dan?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
All right, so let's go over to the wheel, and good luck to all. We'll just keep spinning it till we eliminate team by team by team. Now, the cool thing, as I mentioned, is these teams will not only be eligible for tonight's draw, but they're also going to be eligible for the second draw and the third draw. So you're bettering your chances. The earlier you get in, the better you have a chance to win. All right, so we're going to remove them. Let's see if I can speed up the spins a little bit.
Yeah, the only team that will not be eligible for the draws is whoever wins tonight. But every other
That's
team.
right.
And because you've registered, if you registered April, how we're doing the final draw is you get bonus entries. So if you registered in April, you get 5 bonus entries. If you registered in May, you get 4 bonus entries.
So we eliminated Team 8, which was the last team to enter. Team 4 has now been eliminated. So we got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Nice to see you still there, Danny. Holy smokes, that's close. All right. Team Huxon is eliminated. We've got 5 teams left.
I actually have a team I'm rooting for, and it's not me. I'll be honest with you.
It's just
Oh,
sorry, Kit team. That's a team that I would have liked to have seen win.
that's who I was rooting for, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. So,
They're a great tandem, those two.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
It's
They're great
him
people.
are great guys to be around.
All right, so we've got the last year's champion. We've got the tournament organizers still left, Kyler and Sean. Who is so repeat champions are not going to be a part of tonight's winners. So there's 3 teams left. All right, the team that's eliminated here is not in contention. It won't be a runner-up or a finalist. Let's find out who are going to be our last 2 teams that are standing. Well, look at that. Look at that. All right. Any last words, Dan, before we spin the wheel to find out who the runner-up is?
Go Team 6, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so as I mentioned, whoever this lands on is the runner-up, and the last team standing is the winner of our early bird prize pack. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll speed the wheel up, or I'll extend the wheel a little bit to give a little bit more drama so people know that it's fair. All right, good luck to both teams. Let's find out who wins. Is it going to make it all the way? Holy smokes. Dude, are you kidding me? Holy.
Yeah.
So there it is. Danny
Wow.
and Mary Lisa, congratulations on being the runners-up. And, of course, our winners are Team 6, Ryan Egan and Steve Johnson. That's awesome.
I'll let the boys know. There'll be and Ryan's on a roll because he won last week at the qualifier, first one. So yeah, he's just cleaning us out right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's going on. My computer is frozen, and I don't know how to end any of this. I'm probably just going to have to shut it off. So, any last words, Dan? I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the screen that had the wheel. So I apologize, folks. We're having technical difficulties tonight. But any last words, Dan?
I'm just glad it's not my computer glitching out this time. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in again, and we look forward to talking to everybody next week. Right
on. All right. With that being said, I will bid everybody farewell. Have yourselves a great weekend. Look forward to seeing all the participants in the NCAA Weekend Series, as well as the Compre Conquer All Challenge.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, go Anglers, go. All right. Thanks, Danny. You have a great night, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.